Yes! Y'all know what that music means right there. Hello, beautiful people. I am Kevin John, and welcome to the 8th week of the high school football season, where things are getting real across the Sac-Joaquin section. Now, as with every week, we kick this party off with our ABC 10 Game of the Week, and boy, do we have a banger for you guys. ABC 10's Matt George is standing by with more.
Happy Friday, I'm Matt George. Week 8 of the high school football season is here, and our ABC 10 Game of the Week has major implications in the Pioneer Valley League. It's the Oakmont Vikings paying a visit to the Lincoln Fighting Zebras. It's Cancer Warrior Night at Lincoln High School, with the Fighting Zebras battling both their opponents on the football field and cancer. And the Lincoln boys were dressed to the nines tonight. Check out the new black and pink jerseys with hope on the back. I checked for them at the team store. They were sold out. Of course, the Lincoln cheer and dance teams are always ready to put on a show, giving the Zebras an extra edge against league rivals, the Oakmont Vikings. Picking this game up in the first quarter, the Fighting Zebras already leading 7-0. Quarterback Eli Duff hands the ball off to sophomore Mason Volzer, and the underclassman puts on a show with his legs. Check out the spin move to beat the final Oakmont defender and get into the end zone. 14-0 Lincoln now. Later in the first quarter, the Zebras on the attack again. Senior Brock Gaylor catches this perfectly executed play-action pass and gets all the way down into the red zone, setting up his own touchdown run. It's 21-0 Lincoln, and we are still in just the first quarter. This game looked like it was heading into blowout territory, but momentum can change quickly in a football game. On the kickoff, junior Malachi Alexander single-handedly gives the Vikings life as he takes this ball 90 yards for the kickoff return touchdown. And while you watch this run play out, I'll let you know that this began an epic comeback for Oakmont. After the score, the Vikings recovered their own kickoff, setting up their second touchdown of the game. And then on defense, Oakmont forced a huge fumble deep in Lincoln's territory, and they scored off that as well. Just like that, midway through the second quarter, this game is tied. Are you not entertained? And while it may have felt like the sky was falling for the Fighting Zebras, they managed to regain composure with a late touchdown just before halftime, this time a reception by Mason Volzer to retake the lead. And then they came out of the locker room in complete control, dominating the second half en route to a statement 49-31 victory. The Fighting Zebras improved to 6-1 on the season and sit at the top of the Pioneer League standings.
Great job out there, Matt. Congratulations to the Lincoln Fighting Zebras. Don't they have the best mascot out there? All right. Well, anytime the Folsom Bulldogs are playing, you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a crowd. And such was the case on Friday night. But don't think for one second that Del Oro was just going to let the Bulldogs run all over them. We're heading to Loomis, home of one of the best student sections in the world. The Golden Eagles welcoming in the 5-1 Folsom Bulldogs. And maybe the student section energized the Del Oro football team early on, because on their very first drive of the game, they marched 73 yards down the field and cap it off with this 1-yard touchdown run by Ty Suave. That erupted the home crowd. By the way, shout out to Del Oro's head coach, Josh Perry. He has one of the best beards in high school football. Anyway, Del Oro jumps out to a quick 7-0 lead, but you know you can't hold a Bulldog down for long. To the second quarter now, Ryder Lyons back to pass, and he fires this one into Rob Larson, who skates in for the touchdown. And just like that, we're tied at 7. Now later in the quarter, the Ryder Lyons air show continues. Lyons going deep, and like a good neighbor, Isaiah Williams is there for the touchdown. Lyons put some sauce on that ball. Barbecue sauce. Folsom takes a 14-7 lead. And how about that Folsom defense? Midway through the second quarter, Nolan Swab back to pass, but Lua DeBerry says, "Not on my watch, playa." He gets the sack, and the Bulldogs are in business. Now later in the quarter, Folsom back in the red zone, and deja vu. Lyons to Larson for the touchdown. They're a better duo than Montana and Rice. Yeah, I said it. It was that kind of night for Folsom. Give credit to Del Oro, though. They fought all night long. But Folsom goes on to win this one 35-20. Coach Doherty's squad moves to 6-1 on the season. Now, staying in the Sierra Foothill League, next we're heading to Jesuit. The Marauders coming off a big win against Rocklin last week. On Friday, they had the tough challenge against the Oak Ridge Trojans. We'll pick this up in the fourth quarter. Close game, Jesuit ball. Kawana Smith takes the pitch, and he takes off for a huge gain. But that would not lead to anything. Later in the fourth, Oak Ridge trying to put together a game-winning drive. Luke Tabor on the keeper, but he fumbles it. It's picked up by Luke DeLizer. And just like a kid running home on a Friday night to make curfew, Luke is going to run this all the way to the house. And there is a party going on at Jesuit. The Marauders take down Oak Ridge 24-14. Jesuit moves to 5-2 on the season. All right, next we're heading to Rocklin. The Thunder hosting the red-hot Monterey Trail Mustangs, who have outscored their last two opponents 97-0. Student section lit. We'll pick this one up in the third quarter. Rocklin ball, Reeves Sloan. He's going back to pass, and he's going to throw an absolute dot to Connor Bow for the touchdown. Thunder up 27-7 at this point, and they were getting it done on defense too. Don't believe me, just watch. Later in the quarter, Monterey Trail ball, Caden Love. He's back to pass, but see, Grayson Smith shows him no love. Grayson steps in front of the ball. He takes this back for the touchdown. A good old pick six from Mr. Smith. Monterey Trail would try to mount a comeback here, but it was too little too late. The Rocklin Thunder go on to win this one 35-14. Congrats to Rocklin on the victory. All right, next, we're heading to Lincoln. And I just got one question for you guys. Who's stopping the 12 Bridges Raging Rhinos? Well, I can tell you this. It's definitely not the Placer Hillmen. We're heading to 12 Bridges High School. And check this out. Right before the game, the sheriff drops off the game ball through the helicopter to 12 Bridges head coach Chris Bean. Always a vibe out there. The Raging Rhinos putting their undefeated record on the line against the Placer Hillmen. We'll pick this one up in the first quarter. 12 Bridges ball. Connor Frontiera rolls out. He's going to find his fullback, Bradley Kirby, for the touchdown. And the Raging Rhinos were just warming up. Now later in the quarter, 12 Bridges back in the red zone, and Chase Walitko runs this up the gut for the touchdown. Hope I didn't butcher his last name. He didn't butcher the touchdown. The Rhinos are in business. And this kid, Chase, he was feeling himself. Of course, one touchdown is not enough. Later in the quarter, Chase gets the handoff, and Placer is going to chase him all the way to the end zone. Yeah, they weren't able to tackle him. This game, all 12 Bridges, they go on to defeat Placer 49-24. The Raging Rhinos move to 7-0 on the season. All right, next we're heading to Cordova High School. It was homecoming for the Lancers. Nice look at some of the floats out there. The Lancers welcoming in the Antelope Titans. We're going to pick this one up in the first quarter. Cordova back to punt, but the ball goes over the punter's head. It's bouncing around, getting kicked. Who's going to grab the ball, y'all? It's like hot potato out there. Who's going to get it? By the time they pick it up, it's Antelope, and they land on it in the end zone for the touchdown. Now later on, Antelope finds the end zone again. That is Philip Goodell III who punches that in for the touchdown. Antelope up 12-0 to the second quarter now. Cordova kicking off the Antelope, and you may not want to kick it to Dominic Nahara. Why? Well, let's just say Dominic will make you remember the Titans. Yeah, look at him going down, bobbing, weaving, sliding, moving, grooving. He's brought down inside the 5-yard line, and they later punched it in for a touchdown. Now, get this, late in the fourth quarter, they actually suspended the game due to an injury of a player, so we definitely do wish a speedy recovery to that student athlete who went down. All right, we're going to keep this show going. I'm not tired yet. The Vanden Vikings out of Fairfield are on the quest to repeat as state champions this year. But on Friday night, the Sacramento Dragons had no plans to make it easy for them. We're heading to Vanden High School. Both the Vikings and Dragons enter this game at 4-2. We'll pick this one up in the first quarter. Vanden kicking off to Sac High. Demarie Taylor fields the kickoff return. And just like tweens running to listen to the new Taylor Swift album, Taylor is going to run this all the way to the house. And the Dragons strike blood early on. But the Vikings would clap back later in the first quarter. Vanden They're in the red zone, and Josiah Chavez plows this in for the 3-yard touchdown, and Vanden is in business. Now, how about that Vikings defense? I'm glad you guys asked. Later in the quarter, LaRon James Radcliffe back to pass, but Kamani Doak says, not today, playa. He gets the interception. Vanden, they go on to win this one 21-13. The Vikings move to 5-2 on the season. All right, next we're heading down I-80 to Vacaville, where the Wilsey Wood Wildcats hosting the Pioneer Patriots out of Woodland. We'll pick this one up in the second quarter. Woodland ball. Tanner McCottrell airing it out. He finds J'Anthony Denard for the touchdown. The Wildcats feeling themselves. But Pioneer would soon clap back on the defensive end. Tanner going to the air again, but Devin Corley steps in front of the pass and stands on business as he runs this back for the touchdown. We call that a good old-fashioned pick six. Now ensuing possession for Wood. They're back in the red zone, and DJ Seymour, because that's my DJ, go DJ. DJ Sizemore gets in for the, I used to be a DJ, y'all, come on. He gets in for the touchdown. That had to feel good, but Pioneer, they go on to win this one 43-21. The Patriots move to 6-2 on the season. Congratulations to all the teams who won on Friday night, and only a few more weeks left of the regular season.